What's this? A letter for me.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 returns that I recently got back in the mail. I believe they all are baseball related, so let's just jump right into these. Alright, this first one is postmarked from Maine, and it is former Baltimore Oriole, Milwaukee Brewer, Seattle Mariner / Weird Al Yankovic impersonator Pete Ladd on 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th on a rookie card. And I'm going to see if I can figure out if Alan Nicely and Reggie Baldwin sign. It'd be nice to get all of them to finish that off, but I saw another YouTuber recently, either they got Pete back in the mail or they pulled a Pete Ladd card, I don't remember which, but they had this card, I believe, and they thought he looked like Weird Al, and I'm like, well, there's a card that even looks more like Weird Al, so I naturally had to include those in the lot. That hair just... And this is Weird Al of the 80s, not Weird Al now. Weird Al now doesn't look anything like that anymore. But if you're from the 1980s and maybe even the early 90s, you know exactly who Weird Al Yankovic is for the younger viewers. So let me tell you a little bit about Pete Ladd and his career. Ladd was originally drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 25th round of the 1977 Major League Draft out of Maine. So a hometown team drafted him. He was traded to the Houston Astros in June 1979 as part of the deal that brought Bob Watson to the Red Sox. Rest in peace, Mr. Watson, who just recently passed away. And made his Major League debut for Houston 2 months later. That'd be his rookie card right there. After spending the next 2 seasons in the Astros farm system, Ladd was traded to the Milwaukee Brewers for Ricky Keaton. Ladd spent the first half of 1982 in the minor leagues with the Vancouver Canadians, but he was called up to the majors in July and posted a 1-3 record with a 4 earned run average in 16 games down the stretch. Despite his lack of experience, Ladd was named the Brewers' closer for the 1982 postseason following an injury to Raleigh fingers. He appeared 3 times, 3.1 innings pitched without giving up a base runner, while notching 5 strikeouts, and picked up a pair of saves for the Brewers' win over the California Angels in the ALCS, including pitching the series-clinching ground ball to Rod Carew in Game 5. After allowing the go-ahead run to score in relief of Bob McClure in Game 2 of the World Series, he did not appear again the rest of the series, even though the series went 7 games. So, I guess by the World Series, he lost his closer role. Well, in 1983, while serving as the closer, Ladd saved 25 games and 44 appearances with a 2.55 ERA. This would be by far his best season as a pro. He would spend a couple more seasons with the Brewers until he was released. He would sign with the Seattle Mariners later that year and would join the Seattle Mariners in the 1986 season. He would spend a couple seasons with Seattle and then finally would sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers. However, he did not play for the Dodgers in 1987 and spent the entire season in AAA. After the 87 season, Mr. Ladd did retire from baseball. So, very happy to add Pete Ladd to the collection. Like I said, I'm going to look up Alan Nicely and Reggie Baldwin and see if they sign also, and we'll go from there. Alright, so this next one is postmarked from Georgia, it looks like. It's kind of hard to read. The postmark's kind of messed up. So, and it is former Atlanta Brave great Glenn Hubbard on 1. 2 is a Oakland A. A 3rd is an Oakland A. And his rookie card, which I'm also going to do my research. I know Bruce Benedict signs. I'm not sure about Larry. I honestly don't even know who Larry is. So I'm going to definitely have to look him up and see if he signs or not. But this is going to be sent to Bruce next, and we'll see if he signs for us. So let's talk about Glenn Hubbard and his career. Glenn Hubbard's another one of those guys that is a lifetime baseball guy. Glenn Hubbard attended high school in California and finished up his high school career also in Utah, where he was drafted in the 20th round in 1975 and was promoted to the major leagues in 1978 by the Braves. Hubbard hit his first major league home run on September 23rd, 1978. The next season, Hubbard would be on the Braves as a young rookie, and Hubbard would stay with the Braves from 1978 to 1987. Hubbard signed as a free agent with the Oakland A's and played with the team in 1988 and 1989, being part of the championship team, the World Series championship team of the Oakland A's of 1989. In 1983, Hubbard had his best season, an all-star season. He hit .263, hit 14 home runs and 70 RBIs, earning him an all-star game appearance. Hubbard got a single when he hit a hard grounder to another first-time all-star, Cal Ripken. The ball took a wicked hop, and Ripken couldn't handle it. Hubbard was more known for his fielding than his hitting. His willingness to stand in while turning a double play with a runner coming out at him and his steady glove made him very valuable to the Braves. He holds Braves team fielding records for second baseman in all categories. In total, Hubbard played 1,354 games over 12 seasons in the major leagues. He has a lifetime .244 batting average, 70 home runs, 35 stolen bases. He recorded a .983 fielding percentage while playing second base his entire career. Post-playing career, Hubbard was the Braves' first base coach under Bobby Cox from 1999 to 2010. When Freddie Gonzalez was hired as the Braves manager in 2010, Hubbard was not offered a position on his staff, and he moved on to the Kansas City Royals organization. Hubbard has been with the Kansas City Royals organization since leaving the Braves and has been the bench coach since 2015 of their Class A affiliate, the Lexington Legends. A nice iconic thing that I'm going to throw up here is on June 24, 2016, the Legend held a promotional giveaway with Glenn Hubbard bobblehead night, featuring him in a Legends uniform with a boa constrictor wrapped around his neck, an image made popular by his 1984 Topps, and I'm going to post that right here. So as you can see, the card kind of speaks for itself. There was a time period that I've read about that Mr. Hubbard refused to sign this card. However, in an interview that he did a couple years back, he kind of said, whatever, I got over my feelings towards this card, I'll sign it again. He has said in the past, before he did this previous interview, that he just did not like that card and for whatever reason refused to sign it, but now he decides to sign that card for whatever reason. So thank you, Mr. Hubbard. Very happy to add your autograph to the collection. Hopefully we can get these other guys to sign this in the future as well. Alright, so this final one is postmarked from Cleveland. Just the sign there. Straighten it out at least. And this is a card that you've seen already, but I got it completed. So I'm happy to announce that I got Mr. Andre Thornton to finish my Fleer Superstar Special card. That was featured with Toby Hara in a previous episode, and I'll link the Toby Hara episode up here in the corner and also at the end of the video, so you can check that out. But he signed that one. He signed a Swell Legends card, a 1987 Topps, complete with gum stain and all. I was going through my 87 Topps, and I pulled this card not realizing the gum stain was on the back. And after I put all my cards away and everything, I saw this. And I'm like, you know what? Who cares? I'm going to send it to him anyway. The gum stain gives it a little uniqueness, I guess you would say. and finally a 1981 Topps. So very happy to get all 4 of these back in the mail. Very, very happy to finally complete this card. Signed in blue Sharpie by both of them. Very happy to get that. And both of them signed them in relatively a quick amount of time for me once I got them sent. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about Andre Thornton because I've featured him in a previous episode. So let me just talk a little bit about him and we'll finish this video right up. Thornton grew up in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania and graduated from Phoenixville Area High School in 1967. The Philadelphia Phillies signed Thornton as an amateur free agent after being a senior in high school. He played minor league baseball in the Phillies organization from 1967 through 1972, never appearing in the majors for the Phillies. In 1972, the Phillies traded Thornton to the Atlanta Braves, who later traded him to the Chicago Cubs the following year. Thornton made his major league debut with the Cubs July 28, 1973 as a pinch hitter. He collected his first hit on August 3rd in a win over the Montreal Expos. He was named to the 1974 All-Rookie team as a first baseman by Baseball Digest. I want to say that I have his rookie card as a Cub. He's on one of those 4-player cards, and I didn't even think of sending that one. Oh well, maybe next time. Thornton had one of his best seasons in 1975, although his 18 home runs were only the 7th best season total of his career. He had .293 with a .428 on-base percentage and a slugging percentage of .516. It was the first of 6 seasons during his career in which Thornton walked more than he struck out. Thornton played for the Cubs until May 1976, appearing in 271 games with a batting average of .267, 30 home runs, and 122 driven in. Thornton was traded to Montreal on May 17th for Larry Bittner and Steve Rinko. He played in 69 games for Montreal through the end of the season. Overall, for 1976, which he battled many injuries, Thornton only hit .194 with 11 home runs and 38 RBIs. During the offseason, the Expos traded Thornton to Cleveland for pitcher Jackie Brown. The trade would prove to be one of the most lopsided deals of the 1970s, as Brown would only pitch one more year in the majors. Sometimes, a change of scenery is all that a guy needs. Thornton sustained high levels of production through much of his Cleveland career. After hitting 28 home runs in 1977, his first year in Cleveland, Thornton hit a career-high 33 home runs in 1978. In 1979, he was honored with the Roberto Clemente Award, given to the player who best exemplifies the game of baseball sportsmanship, community involvement, and team contributions. Thornton missed all of the 1980 season with a severe knee injury that required 2 surgeries and all but 69 games in 1981 due to those same injuries. From 1981 to 1984, Thornton played primarily as a DH, and in 1982, Thornton hit 32 home runs and batted in 116 runs, a career high, and he also drew 109 walks. From 1982 to 1986, a healthy Thornton appeared in an average of 140 games each season, had a total of 121 home runs, and had over 446 RBIs driven in. He won a Silver Slugger Award as a designated hitter in 1984, and played exclusively as a DH from 85 to 87. In 1987, he started 12 of the first 20 games, but injuries and a decision to essentially bench him kept him out of all but 24 games for the rest of the season, including only 7 total starts. He retired after the 87 season. Overall, in his 10 seasons with the Cleveland Indians, Thornton appeared in 1,225 games, batting .254, slugging 214 home runs, and 749 RBIs. He spent most of his career as one of the few marquee players on a team that was usually barely competitive. In August of 2007, Thornton was inducted into the Cleveland Indians Hall of Fame, and he's also the member of the Reading Phillies Hall of Fame, which is the organization that he played for before he was traded. The Indians also named Thornton as a member of their top 100 greatest Indians. He also has a park named after him in his hometown of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, that opened in August of 2010. So, in closing, thank you, Mr. Thornton. Thank you, Mr. Hubbard, for signing those for me. And thank you, Mr. Ladd, as well, for signing. Hopefully we can get these other two multiplayer cards signed. That's what I'm hoping, at least. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode. I look forward to your comments below.